Welcome to another edition of the End of Day Report with yours truly, that's the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com. Well, tomorrow is the big day, man. Election. Will we have an answer on the morning of November the 3rd? Will we have an answer? Will we have an answer on the 4th? Will we have an answer at all before the week is over with? Everybody wants to know, so let's jump right into it. Take a look at the market activity today. Here's Facebook. So, in case you were out and around or whatever, the stock indexes for the most part had a nice little rally today. But if you look at the tech sector with Facebook, it did not. All right, and you can see here, Facebook has been flip-flopping all around the place. Currently, we're in a market bias that is bearish. Okay, rallies being sold in Facebook. We came into today with a crash alert for today's trading. And Facebook did give us a little bit of downside production with said crash. Excuse me. We are under a official corrective pattern now with Facebook with a bearish weekly trend momentum reading. And unless something magnificent happens, I don't see this pattern breaking. I see more breaking down for Facebook. I see much more downside to come. Moving right along, let's take a look at the Dow. So coming into today, we had a rally alert for the Dow futures, and we did get some nice upside production with that rally alert. The Dow has flipped from a sell bias back to a long bias, and the bottom of the Kumo cloud equaling the overhead trend line resistance around the 27.5 is the initial target for said move in the Dow. Moving right along, we got the Australian dollar. So the Australian dollar also had a rally alert coming into today. We got no upside production as of yet, as the market has flipped from a sell bias to a long bias. And we have a bearish weekly trend momentum reading as well. So the question is going to be, can the Australian dollar get enough energy behind it to retrace back up here to the trend line resistance, or is it going to fail here? That is the big overarching question. Let's see what the rally alert will play out. The mighty Bitcoin Futures Composite Index has a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading, as the market is topped out and flipped from a bullish long bias to now a sell bias. And that will put a pullback back to 11.5-ish. And we should. All right, here's the euro dollar now. We still maintain a sell bias in the euro dollar as this market continues to break down into new lows and new legs down. We're in a corrective phase, and we got a bearish weekly trend momentum reading. So the bias is to the downside in the euro dollar. What about the euro yen, the proxy for the S&P 500? Well, as you can see here, the sell bias is still intact, and it seems to be heading lower with a bearish weekly trend momentum reading. We're in an official corrective market there with the euro yen. Could it be leading the equities on the other side of the rainbow? We shall see. Here is the pound sterling. We still maintain a sell bias in this market with rallies being sold. And yes, this is the way the markets are looking headed into the election. Like they're ready to fall. Take a look at Nat Gas. Nat Gas has a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading, with the trend line support down here around the $2.60-ish range. And I think that is exactly where we're going to be headed. So prepare yourselves on that one. Unless some blizzard comes or something and we get sub-zero temperatures between the next 72 hours, then I guess you can kiss that pattern goodbye. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum still has that long bias. You see, you've got this upside production before the end of day reversal. So this one is flat. Still operating on the auspices of a rally alert, switching from a pure sell bias to more of a long bias with pullbacks being bid back up. So this is going to be a really good, interesting one to see as well, if it can muster up enough momentum to push past it. And kind of the same thing for Litecoin as well. Um, Litecoin has a sell bias still built into the market, as you can see here, and a bearish weekly trend momentum reading. So kind of the similar circumstance for Litecoin as it is for Ethereum. All right, this is a request. The ticker is MMJ on the ASX. It's an equity. All right, so this one, as you can see, this thing has been just flat. No momentum really at all, no conviction. But overall, we maintain the sell bias in this market right now with no downside production or upside production. This hyperparabolic bar is really your true trading range, and the market's just trading within that range, trying to figure all this out, but really nothing in the short term. All right, the Bitcoin ETF GBTC maintains a long bias. As we see, we have this rally alert, and we're starting to see little slithers of upside production. So we'll have to take a look at this going into tomorrow, see what the market has in store for us. Okay, this here is another request. Ticker is OPYGY on the OTC, over the counter market, pink sheets. And this has a rally alert for tomorrow's trading. Overhead trend line resistance is the initial target on this one. This one is extremely choppy, a lot of gaps and stuff all over the place. So this one, usually you have these kind of thin markets, it's not a lot of volume in there, and it's a pink sheet too, so it makes it a little bit more dangerous. But right now you can see that's where the market bias is with the rally alert for tomorrow. As far as Ethereum, looking at the equity side of it, the ticker is ETHE. This has been kind of flat too, not a lot going on here. As you can see, just not a lot happening. Right now, the market has a sell bias in it, with rallies being sold at the moment, threatening to fall below the Kumo cloud and pick up downside steam. Here's the E-mini S&P 500. So we came into today also under the auspices of the rally alert. Market hit the bottom of the Kumo cloud and pulled back somewhat. We do have an elongated bearish weekly trend momentum reading, and we really haven't gotten any production from the rally alert as of yet, but the bias maintains that right now it's a long bias in the market. As the market is trying to find support from which to rally from. So that's kind of where we are right now. Taking a look here at the gold futures, okay. Also came into today with the rally alert, got that little bit of upside production. The overhead trend line resistance is the initial target here, as this market is going to try to get back toward the bottom of that Kumo cloud or push its way in it, trying to get back up to that in gold. All right, so the NASDAQ 100 is the real maintaining this sell bias. Nothing has changed. All right, you're not even getting rally alerts like you got in Dow and S&P and all that. You're not even getting that. This is looking pretty weak, like it just wants to just really just roll over. And you got this elongated bearish weekly trend momentum reading. This market is in a continued corrective territory and accelerating downside. I know these markets are super mixed right now. Here's your crude oil chart. Crude oil futures has a rally alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading, as the trend line resistance around the $40 mark is the initial target on that one. So we'll be waiting for production there. All right, on the Russell. All right, here's your Russell. Pull that up. All right, so the Russell came into today too under the rally alert. You got that upside production. All right, so the bias is still to the long side with pullbacks being bid back up to the market. So this one is looking for a road to retracement, at least back up to the 1590s, maybe the 1600 mark. I think the market wants to regain its footing here as we have a bullish bias now in the market. Another wild card is silver. All right, so here's what we're looking at on silver. So silver had a rally alert coming into today. We got that upside production getting close to the overhead trend line resistance, which is the initial target. I think this one's going to really try hard to get back to 25 as we switch from a bearish to a bullish bias in the market. All right, let's see here. Give me one more second. I think I got time for one more. All right, this is a request. This one is called CrowdStrike Holdings. It's an equity ticker CRWD. And we have a rally alert for tomorrow's trading in this one, as this market is going to try to get back up toward the top of the Kumo cloud mark, somewhere around there. Yep. And I do believe this one's already in our U.S. equity report. I'll just verify that real quick. I'm almost sure that it is. And then that way you can take a look at your dashboard tonight. You can see. Let me just double check. Yep. CrowdStrike is already in the report. So you should have no problem picking that up. Just go to your dashboard and go to U.S. equities, and you'll see it in there. That should be no problem. And I think the MMJ is in there too. Yeah, man, the MMJ is on there too. All right, so that's all we got time for today. You guys know what it is. PulseWaveTrading.com. Come break bread with us. Also, depending on how things go tomorrow and into the evening, there may be a special election day, thing. I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. Play it by ear. But there is a possibility. It depends on if things really get, jumping like back in 2016. I really didn't have a choice. I had to go live. So we'll see. I'll let you know. And with that being said, remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back.